Hello, I'm Chuck Phillip with South Alabama Home Inspections, and welcome to another episode of Southern Home Talk. And I figured I'd do a very short video on your HVAC system and why you may be feeling hot despite how low this may be set on your thermostat. And probably the number one reason why you're feeling warmer than you should is the fact that you have high humidity, and you can see right here that this is actually in the dehumidifying mode. This is a variable speed air handler that I have in the attic, and these systems do better as far as dehumidifying the house than a single stage unit. So I do recommend that whenever you replace your system that you move to a variable speed system, which will also include a variable speed compressor on the outside. But if you don't know what the humidity is in the house, that can be a big problem because it's an invisible issue that most people don't even know they have. And the only way you're ever going to know is to purchase a humidity gauge. And this is one that I purchased off Amazon. There's many different models of these out there. But you can see we've got 73 degrees and 48% humidity on the inside. And that's good because it should be between 45 and 55% humidity. And the higher the humidity is in the house, the warmer you're going to feel. And also the harder your air conditioner is going to have to work to cool the air. And I would say that's in the top 10 reasons is high humidity. I almost want to say it's number one, but you really can't rank this thing from a scale. Now another thing you can do too is go to a mini split package here. It's also known as a ductless system. And what I use this system for is for two purposes. I shut down the central system at night and just cool this room, which saves a lot of money on power. And it's double the efficiency of my system, even though it's relatively new. This is like 25 SEER. But it also has a standalone dehumidifier in it. So I can make this perform just as a dehumidifier. And really the proper solution for a house is to have, especially here in the hot, humid climate that we're in South Alabama, is to have a whole house dehumidification system. I'm just using that for that as well. But another issue could be the fact that you don't have enough return air. And so if you have doors that go all the way to the ground or the floor like this, and no air can circulate out of there, and that's a closet, but if you have a bedroom, and if it's not vented, like I've added the vent here, then air cannot circulate from this room and come back to the return air that's here and get cooled. So I did add additional return vents where I could. I've got one that I cut in here, and then one on the other side of this wall here, which is the same. So these two rooms now have their own return air. Ideally, you would have return air in every room, but if you got a new house or old house, don't matter, they're not doing that. So you have to make the best out of a bad situation and try to create as much return as you possibly can. Another problem could be the fact that your filters are clogged, or that you're using a too fine of MERV filter, where it's just obstructed from being too tight a filtration system. So these pollen filters and such, they can restrict the airflow. And what I found works best is a washable filter system that lets a lot more air into the system, plus they're washable, and you save a lot of money on filters in the long run. But you do need to clean these, and when you do, you need to put a paper filter in while this dries. You don't want to put this back in wet. And this return air goes into the A coil, or evaporator coil above. So if that evaporator coil is dirty, then it's not going to cool sufficiently. And that's why you should have your system serviced twice a year. Best time to do it is in the springtime for the warm season, and then in the fall for the heating season. And it should be properly serviced and be evaluated and evaporator coil cleaned, as well as the outside unit. Now if you have your ceiling registers, like that's one right there, and you'll see this quite often down here. I find it quite a bit in my inspections that I do. I'll either find them sweating or I will find them stained around the outside of it, and sometimes you'll find mold on the register and around the ceiling as well. And so what will happen is you'll have cold air, and you got a lot of humidity, and it condensates there. It makes dew point, and then drywall is porous, and so over a long period of time the drywall will get wet, so it holds moisture, and it creates the perfect cool, damp environment for mold to grow. So this is another reason why you have to monitor and take additional measures to mitigate the humidity in the house. So anyway, you know, one of the biggest causes of high humidity in the house is your bathroom. And this is a exhaust fan here. And it's motion activated. And it's also got a humidistat in there too, so it will kick on if it senses high humidity. And if you don't have one of these, then your bath fan should run at least 10 minutes after you take a shower so it can pull all the moisture out of the air. So you have a lot of things that contribute to high humidity outside just the weather itself. And that's why usually your air conditioning system is not enough to pull all the humidity out of the air. And so these are some of the top reasons for probably why you feel hot at night or hot during the day, even despite having the air conditioner cranked down, because this is really the only control you have. So when you feel warm, you just keep cranking it down, but it's not doing much good because of some of these issues I've expressed. Like I say, there's more issues than just that. So I hope that some of these things that I've told you will kind of point you in the right direction to sort of look at those, but it could be a host of other issues too that may need to be addressed. So maybe have to bring in a competent HVAC technician to come in to evaluate your duct system, evaluate the size of the system, and that sort of thing. So thanks for tuning in. My name is Chuck Phillip with South Alabama Home Inspections. If you need an inspection, please call us at 251-490-9892. And also subscribe to the channel where we specifically look at the issues that affect our houses here in South Alabama. And thanks for watching.